This is MUTAGEN, a game about evolving and exploring an alien world that I'm making, and it's changed a lot since I started working on it 2 years ago, so strap in. Here's the first video I ever recorded of the game from April of 2024. You can see I have the guy moving around, and you can also see he looks very similar to how he does now. I knew from the start I'd be sticking a lot of abilities onto this guy, so I wanted him to look as basic as possible. I based him off of a Jerboa. Okay, now here it is 2 months later. There's a world you can wander around. There are trees generating you can eat the berries off of. The guy looks different. I really don't know why the left leg is darker. That really bothers me, why I made it like that. But the main thing is that there's a shop now where you can sort of spend the food you eat to upgrade yourself. Jumping ahead to October, so this is like 6 months in, I now have this infinitely scrolling, procedurally generated world. You can see I basically settled on the art style that would end up being the one used in the final game. Some new creatures and abilities. I'm flying around in this guy here. So I messed around with this endless world for a while. I added some caves in along with other new abilities. But eventually I found out that this endless world was just kind of boring. It felt way too empty, and so I switched over to having this screen-based world where I would make each screen myself and then get placed randomly, and the world was pretty small. And also, instead of having a shop, you would just find abilities lying around in the world. And at this point, I started trying out a bunch of different stuff about kind of how mysterious should it be, should I do randomly generated screens in some areas. I wanted to hit on this thing where I realized that what was interesting was this sort of open-ended traversal that you have with your abilities, letting you solve problems in different ways. But it was kind of figuring out, okay, what do you actually do in this game? How do you win? I think this part's a little bit less interesting to talk about because it was a lot of just like trying something, it not working, and then going and trying something else. I also just kind of added a lot of stuff in, like these mud pits and new creatures and abilities. It was just a lot of trial and error. This is my first big commercial game, so I had a lot of stuff to learn. I don't want to spoil too much about where it is now, but that basically brings us to where I am now, and if this game looks cool, it will be out eventually and you can wishlist it on Steam.